A warm breeze moved across the wide glass windows of the Marlevon estate, but inside the mansion the air felt strangely cold, almost motionless. In the center of that stillness lay a pale, fragile girl curled under a silk blanket, her breaths shallow and uneven, even though she was only 9 years old. Doctors had been coming and going for months, carrying their expensive medical bags, whispering theories, and giving new medications that never seemed to change anything. Her father, Adrian Marlevon, a man whose name carried weight in every business alley of the city, had tried every cure money could buy. Yet nothing worked. His daughter, little Amara, kept getting weaker, as if someone or something was slowly draining the life out of her. And then, one sunny morning, a new nanny walked into that mansion, and the entire story of the Marlevons began to change. If you believe kindness and second chances can heal wounds deeper than medicine ever could, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness, because stories like this remind us that compassion still transforms lives. Her name was Seraphine Vale, a soft-spoken woman in her early 30s with warm eyes and a gentle smile that seemed to settle even the most restless spirits. She had taken care of many children before, but nothing prepared her for the quiet sadness she saw in Amara. The girl was small for her age, with light curls flattened against her pillow and skin that held the faint bluish tone of someone constantly fighting invisible battles. The mansion staff moved around her with caution, as though she were a delicate candle flame that might go out at any second. To them, this illness had become normal, the way things were, monitors quietly beeping beside the bed, windows always slightly open, doctors murmuring about stress, neurological disorders, or perhaps something they had not yet discovered. But Seraphine felt something different the moment she stepped inside the room. She could not explain it. It was not fear, it was not suspicion. It was a heaviness in the air, a pressure around the edges of the room, as though the sunlight avoided a specific corner where shadows always collected, no matter how bright the day outside. Amara watched her with wide, tired eyes, but gave a faint smile when Seraphine sat beside her. Their connection formed instantly, and Seraphine promised herself she would do everything possible to help the girl regain her strength. Days passed, and Seraphine settled into her routine in the giant mansion filled with marble floors, gold-trimmed staircases, and rooms so large they could swallow smaller homes whole. She cooked warm soups for Amara, read stories to her near the window, and gently brushed her hair every morning. But every night, without fail, Amara grew cold and trembling again, her breaths becoming shallow, her heartbeat anxious and uneven. It always happened after sunset, and no doctor could explain why. Seraphine approached Adrian that same morning. She handed him the box gently, telling him she had found it under his daughter's bed. Adrian stared in stunned silence, his hands shook. For years he had locked his grief in secret, believing that ignoring it meant healing. Instead, it had become a quiet, invisible storm in the room his surviving daughter grew up in. Standing beside him, Seraphine explained the nights of trembling, the disturbed space, the sudden calm that followed removing the box. She spoke softly, without accusations. Adrian closed his eyes for a moment, tears escaping down his face. He realized that for so long, he had carried guilt for losing Celestine and fear for losing Amara too. The mixture had weighed on his heart, and somehow it had been weighing on his daughter as well. That afternoon, Adrian drove to a peaceful hillside overlooking the city. Seraphine and Amara went with him. There, under the gentle daylight, he opened the box one last time. Amara held the tiny bracelet in her hands, feeling its coolness and imagining the sister she never knew. Seraphine watched as Adrian whispered a silent promise to the sky, finally releasing the grief he had locked away for so long. When he placed the box into the earth and covered it gently with soil, the wind blew softly, like a sigh of relief through the trees. In the days that followed, the mansion changed. The shadows left the corners, the rooms brightened. Most importantly, Amara grew stronger. Her breath steadied, her appetite returned. Laughter began echoing faintly through the hallways. Doctors were puzzled, but Adrian and Seraphine knew that emotional storms could sometimes manifest physically. Healing was happening, not from medicine, but from truth, from release, from love rediscovered. Seraphine remained with the family, not just as a nanny, but as someone who had restored something that money never could. Peace inside a home haunted by unspoken sorrow. She became Amara's anchor and Adrian's trusted confidant. And every day, as sunlight filled the mansion, it felt like Celestine's memory was finally resting gently instead of weighing heavily on the family. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Light of Kindness. Your support helps keep meaningful stories alive. And before you go, comment below, do you believe emotional wounds can affect the health of a home? Thank you for watching, and may kindness always guide your days.